Hello and happy holidays to all of our friends and family across the country here from the University of Idaho Commons. I'm Aiden Transtrom and I'm here with my good friend Joey Nelson, or as most people like to call him, Joey from Tacoma, here to present a very special holiday message. How you doing, Joey?
Hey, how you doing, man? This is an unbelievable experience, man.
It's really good to be with you, my friend. So it is the holiday season, and which means it's a lot of families coming together to celebrate, you know, the year coming to a close. And so I guess my first question for you, Joey, is what made you want to make this video and to, I don't know, send out the message we're going to send out?
Yeah, it's Tacoma kind of made me who I am today. In a very port city, very scrappy port city, a very artsy type city, very hippie-ish, if you really want my opinion about it. But it was kind of raised me who I am today, and especially when I was a young kid growing up in a city of Tacoma like that, and growing up in a single-parent household kind of determined me more of an individual. Especially I did grow up in a single-parent household with my mom, and it kind of made me want it even more. And I was a very tenacious young kid who really wanted to make it, rather if it was in education and acting or motivational speaking. I really wanted to make it out, and I was not going to let anybody tell me I wasn't going to make it out, regardless of the situation, regardless of what happened. I wanted to make it, and I was not going to let anybody tell me I wasn't going to make it. So that's what my childhood was, and especially, like I said, growing up in a single-parent household and stuff like that, not having a father really kind of changed my whole perspective about my life. And obviously, he left us when we were 2 years old, and I actually have another brother. He left us when we were 2, and I honestly, when I was younger, I didn't really understand like the whole complexity about not having a father until I got older. When I would go to school and I'd see these kids that with their mom and dads, and they would go home with their 2 parents, and I was going home in a single parent house. So it kind of changed my whole complexion about my whole life, and really wanted to be successful even more because of obviously the situation. Obviously my mom was struggling financially when I was younger, and I really wanted to make it out, and obviously I wanted to make it out for myself, people that made this possible for me in the city of Tacoma that I love. That was an unbelievable experience because I put me at front counter, and that McDonald's there has a high population for prostitution and gangs, and so that was a reality check for me, man, because I met some very interesting people, but as I was sitting there and stuff like that, I met some pretty wonderful people, and who legitimately cared, and you know what I mean. And I was only 17, 18 years old. I was a young kid, and I met these 40-year-olds that absolutely have nothing. So I was very grateful for that. But obviously I got hired, and I started working there, and I'll never forget it though. And there was a couple months in, and I was working the front counter. It was one night. It was about 9 o'clock. It was getting late, and I was about to get off from work, and I was working in the lobby, and I was washing tables and stuff like that, and I'll never forget this guy that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. I was at that time, and I was not proud of who I was, especially with all of my academic failures at that point and stuff like that, almost dropping out of school, and I was not proud of who I was. And I met this guy I'll never forget. I was, like I said, I was cleaning lobby, and this guy that was looking at me, I mean, he was looking dead at me. And I looked at him in the corner of my eye, and I was wondering why was he looking at me and stuff like that. And I eventually turned to him, and I was like, "How you doing, sir?" And he looked at me directly right at me, and he was like, "There's something about you." And I'll never forget. I was like, "Wait, what?" Because usually you don't say that to somebody that you just met. You know what I mean? And I was kind of blown away at first because nobody's ever said that to me before. And then he said it again sincerely too. He was very, very straightforward. He was like, "There's something about you." The reason we say "we" is for kids that didn't get an opportunity to come to college, and it's always we as in kids that are fighting with cancer or any deathly sickness, and we as in all the staff members, teachers, professors who gave me an opportunity to pursue an education from all the way from grade school to middle school to high school to the community college, all the way to the University of Idaho. It's always been we. It's a we degree. And the reason I say the we though is because it kind of inspired me to get up every day and to do what I do, and come to school and come to class and wanting to pursue an education. And everybody asks me though, why we, and it's always we. And when I walk out of here with a college degree, it's we did it, we inspired, we did it for every kid that didn't get an opportunity. We did it for every kid that was told maybe college wasn't for you. well, I was kind of like their voice that, we can do it. Stanwood was a place for me that I really rebounded academically and, changed my whole life. And, I can't even say it enough though. And my aunt saved my life, and I will never be able to pay her back what she's done for me. And especially the situation I was in Tacoma and stuff like that. And I was in a very, very dark spot. So I attended there, and I graduated that year in 2013. I'll never forget the day, and moved back to Tacoma. And I moved in with my grandmother that was very deathly ill at that time. I'll never forget the time that she came home from hospice and stuff like that. And I knew her time was up, and I just didn't know it was going to be that night. But she sat down, and I looked at her, and I started crying and stuff like that. And I was very emotional because obviously she meant so much to me and my brother. And I told her, Grandma, we can't lose you and stuff like that. And she looked at me straight in the eye though, and she was like, you guys will go on and do big things. And Joey, I know you wanted to graduate college. I wanted you to graduate college, and I want you to do that. You know what I mean? Because I know that's been your dream of yours. And I started crying, and I was like, Grandma, I'm definitely going to do that, and you know that. And she knew the drive in me though. I mean, obviously she knew that I was a very tenacious kid that really dreamed big and knew I wanted to achieve. And we had to graduate college. I mean, that was the mindset. And we took over the rent, we moved, and we stayed there for a year. I took 91 credits in 5 quarters, and obviously I can't even believe that I pulled that off, man. From going to school from 7:30 in the morning until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I mean, it really came within to get this done. And that's how bad I wanted to be successful and stuff like that. And obviously I was going to do it for my grandmother that I love so much. And I really wanted to pursue an education, and I never knew it was going to be like this. But obviously though, man, we pulled it off. I graduated in June of 2016. And the one thing that was great about graduating from TCC though, not only was it a great place for me, I met countless faculty and staff members. I used every resource given me, from the Riding Tutoring Center to the office hours to a bunch of instructors that really gave me an opportunity. And I'll never forget the day I graduated college. I was with my brother, and it was a very emotional time for me, because I know that Grandma was watching us walk across that stage and get that associate's degree, and then enrolled in the University of Idaho. The next couple months, and I enrolled and came here in August. And the one thing that I think about the University of Idaho is that they gave me an opportunity, like a kid like me, and I was very grateful for the university for giving a kid like me a shot to pursue an education, stuff like that. And obviously this is my first semester here, and it's been an unbelievable experience already, living in a dorm and meeting countless kids that come all walks across the country and to pursue an education. And that's the one thing I look about the University of Idaho, how diverse, how different people from all walks of life come to one place and try to pursue. But not only did I do it for me though, I did it for countless people that made it possible, for from the city of Tacoma, all the kids that didn't get an opportunity to pursue an education, all the kids that are fighting with cancer, that have deathly sicknesses, and who would kill to be in this situation right now. And that's why I get up every day and I get up out of my room and go to school, is for those kids that didn't get a second chance. And we cherish every moment that I'm here. And a lot of kids would kill to be at a 4-year university, man. Absolutely, absolutely. I want to thank all the people that made this possible, from the production here at the University of Idaho, Kay McGregor for letting this be possible here at the Commons. This is an unbelievable setup. I'm very grateful for all the staff members that made this possible and that wanted me to do this. And also I'm very grateful for the financial aid for giving me this opportunity to come to school, and because that money ain't free. And we're really going to give back to the people that gave me this opportunity, and I'm going to thank all the friends and family back home in the city of Tacoma that I love so much, and all the people that are struggling right now. And especially with Christmas time and the holiday season coming up and stuff like that, it's a time of giving and time to respect others and be with family and friends. And that's who I'm going to thank, and thank all the people that made me who I am today and inspired me to be the kid I want to be, and hopefully become one of the best motivational speakers in the world. And give back to the people that gave back to me, and from Tacoma Community College to all the 3 high schools I attended, from Henry Foss High School to Lincoln High School to Stanwood High School to now the University of Idaho. So we're giving thanks to a lot of people that made this possible, and very grateful for you, Aiden, for interviewing me and stuff like that. This is an unbelievable setup. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. So.
Well, I think that just about wraps it all up, Joey. Very, very inspiring things to say. I think a lot of people can identify with you and your message and the things you've gone through and the things you've done to really cement yourself and try to better yourself as a person. So really appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you, man. It's an unbelievable experience, man.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for interviewing me, man, especially the Commons and the University of Idaho for letting us do this, man. The production's been unbelievable.
Yeah. So on behalf of Joey, myself, and all the wonderful people who helped put this production together, thank you very much for watching, all of our friends and family around the globe, around the country. We'd like to wish you all a very happy holiday season.